And welcome to Reliving My Youth. My name is Noel Fogelman. My guest this week is Mark Holton. Mark has two iconic movies celebrating their 40th anniversary this year. First off, Pee-wee's Big Adventure. He played Francis. Talks about working with Paul Reubens, becoming friends with him up until his death, unfortunately. He also talks about which iconic scene basically was a near-death experience for him, whether or not he had a chance to ride the bike that he was so interested in getting in the movie. Also talks about Phil Hartman. The other movie was Teen Wolf, where he played Chubby. Chubby had that amazing hook shot in the movie. Mark talks about whether or not he had any basketball experience prior to the movie, working with Michael J. Fox and returning for the sequel. He was also in The Naked Gun, albeit for 5 seconds, if that much, with his famous, "Hey, it's Enrico Pallazzo" line. Talks about when he knew the movie was in the theaters and whether or not he got a chance to hang out with any of the cast members. Mark was also in Leprechaun, starring a pre-Fred Jennifer Aniston, and also starring Warwick Davis. Mark talks about which show he thought Jennifer was absolutely perfect for, and it wasn't Friends. A little bit of a disclaimer, Mark had some audio issues towards the end of the interview, so we apologize for that. Nevertheless, really enjoyed my conversation with Mark, and I hope you do as well. So, Mark, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it.
Oh, well, I appreciate you having me on. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. So, just catch up in the audience. What are you up to these days?
Well, I have been on the road a lot. I am glad not to be sitting at 30,000 feet in the air or running through airports or whatever. And I don't have anything else scheduled for the rest of the year, actually. So I'm going to go spend time with my first grandchild
Oh,
here
that's
pretty
awesome.
soon. And then I'm going to make a dive down into Florida to see uh, people that I haven't seen in decades. So it's about time.
Oh, that's great.
To catch up.
How old is your grandchild?
Oh, just months.
Oh, wow.
you know,
Congratulations. Yeah.
well, you could actually say weeks or whatever.
Right.
So, but she's growing and getting that nice baby pudgy face.
Oh, yeah. No, it's always fun. Yeah. Congrats. And yeah, I can imagine best thing about being now a grandfather is when they act up, you just give them back to their parents. You're just there for the good
Yeah.
times, Yeah.
Well, I might feel like that, in the future, but right now it's just all, you know, total, total love.
Yeah.
I just, if I have her, even if my arm, like, starts going to sleep,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
still don't want to put her down, because, uh, I don't live where she lives or
Oh,
whatever, but
okay.
we're trying to fix that. We are looking at eventually making a move to the Nashville area,
Okay.
and so we'll see how that works out.
Oh, that's great. And where are you located now?
I am near Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Are you originally from there?
Yes, I'm originally from small town near Tulsa, and in 2015 I decided to get out of California. So I came back to this area just to kind of base and look things over, and found a house. Couldn't say no, and I've been living in it ever since. So it's gonna be hard to find something to replace it. Um, but I need to downsize too because
Right.
my yard is killing me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine. And I'm sure now you pay, half the price more property than you did in California, right?
Oh, oh yeah, lower taxes,
Yeah.
gasoline. It's just I look at what they're paying in California now, especially. I think they just had a fire at one of the refineries, one of the few
Yeah.
refineries that they have. So I
Yeah.
can't even imagine what gas is a gallon. I don't see how people are able to live.
No, I don't. I mean, I live on the East Coast and gas is expensive, but then I look at California and I'm like, all right, I'm doing okay.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, really.
Yeah. So what brought you to California
Oh, what
originally?
brought me to California? Well, I went through the whole high school and college, outdoor drama, dinner theater, and I even tried radio for a little while, and I decided, well, you know, I, there's nothing left for me here. I need to either, decide to either go to Broadway or to Hollywood. And I was listening to an actor that had uh, taken the choice, took the choice to go to Hollywood over New York. And his reasoning was he was from a small town, and he thought it would be easier psychologically to uh, to rub bumpers instead of elbows.
Hmm.
And I thought, well, that makes a whole hell of a lot of sense. And that's and then I did something just senseless. I, I loaded up my car. I've never been to the West Coast before, and like the old song goes, I left Oklahoma driving in a Pontiac, just about to lose my mind.
Right.
And I just, I was very fortunate. Um, it was just a series of, in my mind and in my heart, I don't know how else to put it, but it was just, miraculous um, occurrences that kept me from getting killed and put me in the places I needed to be uh, to, uh, to thrive as an actor eventually.
Right. Did you have a fallback plan?
No,
No.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody I knew got a teaching degree on top of their theater degree, and I thought, well, you're going what? I've been a starving student, and I
Yeah.
have the opportunity to teach like theater to grade school or high school or whatever,
Yeah.
and you look at the salary and you're wanting to get married, and all of a sudden the dream of the two-car garage and the white picket fence and all that stuff starts to become a reality. So I didn't give myself an out. um, I, uh, I don't know, I guess I would have been a good village idiot if I hadn't made it.
Right. How long after you got to California did you start auditioning for roles?
I got in what they call an equity waiver play right off the bat, and I started performing. Got into an improv group that was like a really the dollar store version
Mhm.
of the Groundlings,
Right. Okay.
and I was staying with the couple that it was one of those things like, hey, I got a buddy coming out there. Well, does he have a place to stay? No, man, he's never been out there before. Well, he can stay with
Oh,
us.
wow.
And the guy's wife was an assistant casting director at Paramount, so she would have to go through millions of these people for all these roles or
Yeah.
whatever. And she said, "Do you want to go in to read with me? I'm really sick of reading with these people, with this process of elimination." And I said, "Sure, I'd do it." So um, that got me some attention uh, on a callback, and I ended up getting my SAG card because they wrote me into an episode in the last episode of the season of a show that you will remember that a lot of people, I'm sure a lot of people know, Webster.
Yep.
But so that was another miraculous thing that just fell into place for me. Uh, I was certainly, I just my new expression is how's it going, and it's either, well, it's better than a poke in the eye with a sharp stick, or I'm doing better than I deserve.
Right.
So yeah.
True. Yeah. So then I'd imagine like the next role had to be in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, right? Playing Francis. Was that the next thing you got?
I don't. I don't know the chronology because when you look at filmography, those are the dates that the film came out.
Gotcha.
So somewhere right in there, I think were a couple of other TV appearances, and I don't know which came first. I want to say uh, I want to say Teen Wolf, and
Yeah.
then Pee Wee's Big Adventure, and then I don't know what would have been third. I did Naked Gun. I slipped that one in there somehow.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah,
Yeah. It's
you know,
like,
I really don't know what was right
right.
after
Yeah.
Webster. It's been
Right.
lost to history so
Yeah.
long ago.
Right. 40 years. I mean, you think about like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and then Teen Wolf, they both came out 40 years ago this year, which is amazing. In your wildest dreams, do you think we'd actually be talking 40 years from the release of that movie about just the legacy of them?
No,
No.
no, no. I didn't. I was surprised it was still popular when it was 20 years old,
Yeah.
and then 30 years old, and then Paul did the coast to coast thing that got
Right.
killed by COVID, and he made it as far as Dallas, and my wife Lisa and I drove down and and saw the show or whatever, and it was wonderful. We got pics backstage, and I think that was the last time I saw Paul in person.
Right.
Was there, um, and then all of a sudden, all the people that had bought tickets or whatever, all these beautiful, grand old theaters from Dallas all the way
Mhm.
to the East Coast, it was all canceled. It
Right.
just blew up overnight.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, absolutely. Did you stay in contact with Paul throughout the years?
Oh yeah, oh
Yeah.
yeah. He just right before he passed away, he sent me a happy birthday video, and he had done it a little while before that, and I think the reason he did that was because he knew he may or may not be around for my birthday
Right.
because it's like I don't know 10, 13 days after that, and I thought, well, he looks great on the video, you know,
Yeah.
and then it was just gone. Woke up one morning, I was pouring myself a cup of coffee. My phone rang, and I answered it like an idiot without looking to see who was calling, and it was TMZ,
Oh, wow.
and and that's how I found out. So I hung up on them and blocked their number, and as far as I know, they're still blocked.
Right.
Um, but yeah,
Mm.
that's how that went. And
Yeah.
then recently I got to see the two parts
Yeah.
of the HBO, and I had to spend a little time in between part one and part two. There was so much to Paul's life that was just not a part of our relationship,
Right.
uh, that it was like, wow, I had no idea. And I don't know. I mean, he knew that I was married and had children, and every year we get the Christmas card. It was made out to all four of us,
Right.
everybody named, and so it's I get a Christmas card now. It's like something's missing on the mantle.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you a fan of his work before you got cast in the movie?
No, I was.
No.
The only time I had seen him was as Pee Wee Herman on the Letterman show, and I thought this
Okay.
guy's nuttier than a fruitcake. This is
Right.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Um, and that was the only frame of reference I had when I went into the audition. And of course, he wasn't in his Pee Wee outfit. He was just dressed as Paul, street clothes or whatever. And all the big muckety mucks there were the writers and the producers and the director. And we we did the niceties thing or whatever, and one of the producers said, "Well, we'd like for you to read with Paul." And I'm looking over, and there's Paul, and I'm going, "Oh shit, that's the guy on Letterman." And we did the "I Know You Are, but What Am I Seeing?"
Right.
And they said, "Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for coming in. Nice to meet you." And of course, in my mind, well, that was the kiss of death right there, you know. And I was in a little bachelor efficiency. I had a little, cheesy answering machine, and drove back from the audition from Warner Brothers to Glendale, and my agents had left a message on my machine and said, "Hey, call in." I called in, and they had already booked me.
Wow.
So, well, that was something that just didn't happen.
Right.
Another uh, another divine intervention. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. 40 years ago, and it's still popular. It may be more popular now than it was in 1985.
I think you're right.
So a
Yeah.
friend of mine put it this way to me. He said, if you made a film in 1945 and it was still popular 40 years later, that would be the year that Pee Wee's Big Adventure was made.
Yeah. It's crazy to think
Just to
about.
put it into historical perspective. And I don't know, there may be a film like that was made in 1945. It's not something that I'm going to lose sleep over if I don't find out,
Yeah.
you know.
R-
But yeah, that and just things like having my own action figure.
Yeah,
Um,
I saw that, and then that's great. TCU Toys. It's a
yeah.
website that has like
Well,
custom figures.
I shouldn't say my. It's a Francis action
Yeah.
figure, but um, Francis and I are kind of synonymous. So,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
just like, wow, man, how's it feel to have your own action figure? And I was
Yeah.
like, well, it wasn't on my bucket list, but I'll take it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. How did that come about?
Um, one of the first podcasts I did was with a guy that dealt a lot in toys or whatever. He said, you should have a Pee Wee's Big Adventure Francis thing figure, and or you could do Teen Wolf too.
Yeah.
And I'm going, yeah, that would be great. And years later, somebody actually, the guys at TCU actually
Mhm.
started the ball rolling, and it's taken over a year. Um, and yeah, when I got it in the mail, it was like, wow, this is it was pretty trippy, you know.
Yeah. I saw on the website that it says coming soon. Do you know when the release date is for the figure?
They are always slammed this time of year trying to get through Halloween.
Right.
So I understand they're shooting for early November
Oh, nice. Okay.
is when they're going to just put it out there, you know. Where I've been taking them with me on the road, and I've offered them at my conventions, and but people are, it was like, I wish I hadn't done it now in hindsight, because people are going, well, I can't go halfway across the country. How do I get mine? How do
Right.
I get mine? So, well, now, you're going to be able to get yours. So, um, anyway, that's pretty cool. It's just a long way coming, man. It's a long, long time.
Yeah.
I never, I'm not a collector, so
Okay.
I have had very little frame of reference when I went into this. So, um, but just, my God, what goes into it is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I know like Pee Wee Herman, well, Paul had a ton of like, merchandise and different types of figures and whatnot. And even with Teen Wolf, there's a ton of Teen Wolf, stuff out there. So maybe they'll have a chubby figure next, fingers crossed.
That wouldn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I'm
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Yeah. Now, just going back to Big Adventure for a sec, and you talked about the scene you and Paul did, in the audition, and you nailed it in the movie. I know you're out, but what am I? How many takes did you guys go through for that?
There wasn't a lot of takes to any of the scenes or whatever. Um, Paul was one of the writers, and there wasn't any changes at the last minute or rewrites or anything like this. Everything went just about as smooth as it could for two actors doing a scene together, and it just there was never a problem that I know of, unless there's something that I'm unaware.
Right. Yeah.
But
Yeah. I mean, must have been fun, even for however long it took. Just the bathtub scene, just in a big
oh
pool.
yeah.
Yeah, playing with the toys or whatnot. That had to be fun.
Okay. Well, I was trying to figure out, well, what am I going to do? It just says Francis is playing in the bathtub. I'm going, well, I've got all these really cool toys, and what would I do? Uh, so I just kind of pretty much did what I would do. A monster would come along and start killing people and
Right.
sinking ships and stuff like that. And so I thought that gave it a really fun flavor, and it was also an opportunity for me to make Francis uh, more of a child character. He's really the only other character in the film on Pee Wee's level.
Right.
So
Yeah. And I like how you bathe in your swimming trunks. So it's kind of
yeah,
yeah.
that was a scary scene or whatever when Professor Tanaka
Right.
jumps in, and the tsunami that went out. I was standing barefooted on the floor, and what you never saw on camera was miles of large diameter electrical cables, and the water's washing over them, coming toward me, and I'm going, "Oh boy,
Oh,
I'm gonna light up like a Christmas tree. I better take a step up right now." And I did, and I went, "Okay, I'm still alive. I'll just keep taking another step up and another step up."
yeah.
But it doesn't take long for you to get the shit scared out of you when something like that happens.
Right.
And in hindsight, it was like, well, it only lasted a minute,
It's all it
but
takes.
I mean, that's all it takes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Exactly, man.
Yeah. It's always good. The instincts kick in, and then
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you had two very creative people. I'm sure more than two, but Tim Burton and Phil Hartman. Tim directed and Phil was, I guess he wrote
Yeah.
some of it with Paul and had the cameo with you at the end. Just talk about working with both of those guys.
Oh, I loved working with Hartman. He was always there. He and Michael Varhol were always on the set, and then we started chumming around a little bit afterwards. After the film ended, and we'd meet. We used to go to a shooting range together, and he had a little Walther PPK that he would bring along or whatever, and we'd do a little target practice, and then go get some drinks and some dinner or whatever, in that order. Not drinks and shooting range. So,
Right.
but yeah, man, he was just a fun guy. He was, and the more I got to know him, the more I appreciated what a really funny guy he was. He was an army brat, and his dad was stationed in Germany, so he had a 5 minute stand up routine in German,
Oh wow.
and you knew exactly what he was doing. He would do John Wayne, John Wayne impression
Yeah.
in German, and it would you know just knock me out.
Yeah.
It was too funny. Um, so after he moved to the East Coast, it was like, well, I can't just hop on a plane and uh, go over and see Phil for the weekend. So we were pretty much, phone buddies after that for the longest time when he was doing Saturday Night Live. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. What was your favorite character of his, like during Saturday Night Live?
Oh my God.
I mean, he had so many,
I
but
love the Sinatra
the
report.
Sinatra group, yeah, that was
Yeah,
amazing. Yeah.
got I got chunks of guys like you
You on my
stuck in my
stool.
lower intestine.
Yeah.
You know, but he had so many. He was just so talented. Um, yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I now have to go look at some of the episodes.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. No, he was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And then moving on to Teen Wolf, it's amazing how music impacts the scene because if there was no music or different type of music in the basketball scene, it would not work.
yeah.
The one in the end song was perfect. The ending was great. Did you have any basketball like experience? Did you play when you were younger before you got cast in the role?
Only in a driveway. Play horse or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, but no, man, I couldn't play my way out of a wet paper sack. It was a it was. I mean, that was kind of the character. He was
Right.
supposed to be the fat guy that you got a couple of fat jokes in, and and he was horrible. But uh, the character kind of developed, not kind of, it developed as we were shooting because there were opportunities for this other underdog to make some shots or
Right.
whatever, and Michael encouraged that and helped me out in that direction. So yeah, by the end of the film, when I started, I thought, well, this is almost nothing on
Yeah.
the written page. And then by the end of the film, the people are picking me up and carrying me through the air with Michael on the, it was just, in hindsight, it's just amazing that another, example of a divine intervention, if you
Yeah.
will.
Right. And you had a great hook shot in that whole sequence. How many times did you have to
Well,
take that?
usually you just had to do it
Edited.
one
Yeah.
time, and then they would cut to a shot of the camera,
Right.
a close up on the hoop.
Yeah.
But one of those shots, I was just okay. I'll just do it,
Yeah.
and they'll yell cut. Well, I threw it, and damn it if the thing didn't go in. Swoosh! I
Right.
went, what? So there's a little moment where you see this look on my face, like I was more surprised than anybody else
Yeah.
in that gymnasium. And then he acts like, yeah, I meant to do that.
Yeah.
So that was a magic little moment, and I can't tell you if it was the hook shot or the shoot it, fat boy
Yeah.
shot. Um, but yeah, it was a fun film.
Yeah.
Fun
No.
film.
Yeah. Absolutely. How much fun was it working with Michael?
How much fun was it working with Michael?
Yeah.
Oh, tons of fun. Funny guy. And he was just a great buddy to pal around with. It was before he became a star, and I don't know if he would have been any different. Um, had he been elevated to the point where he ended up. But yeah, man, he was a great guy. The only time I got mad at him, and I wasn't really mad at him,
Yeah.
he had to spray us down, match the sweat, and they had these what we used to call Hudson tanks. Now they call them garden sprayers, and they were just hitting us with water. And he goes, God, we're starting to really stink out here. We've been up and down this court for
Yeah.
X number of hours. He goes, "Is there anything you can put in the water?" And they said, "Well, we've got some, flavored waters or whatever." And you go, "Well, there's no sugar in them." And it was like lemon or lime or lemon lime, whatever. And they dumped them in the tanks and sprayed us all down. But the agent that carried the fruit flavor
Yeah.
was sticky. And so any place you had skin on skin, like
Yeah.
your underarm in
Right.
between your legs, it got uncomfortable real quick, and we kind of figured out, okay, this is what's going on here. Um, but we gave him a little guff, friendly guff over that, I think.
Right.
But no, man, he was great. We at the wrap party, we showed up outside this bar, and and he goes, "You know what this place is, don't you?" And I said, "No." "Well, what do you mean? I've never been in this bar." He goes, "Well, it's a gay bar." I
Okay.
said, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "So we probably ought to get in before somebody gets a picture of us hanging out outside of a gay bar."
Right.
And I thought, well, that makes sense. Let's go in. And of course, after we got in, it was just crazy. He was jumping on my back like he did in the movie,
Yeah.
and we were drunken pirates. It was a wonderful time.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, I love the movie. Every time it's on, I sit there and watch it, no matter what time of the day it comes on. And you were the only returning actor in the sequel. I know.
no,
I had Jerry Levine on,
James
and
Hampton.
oh, James.
James
Besides
Hampton.
James Hampton. Besides
Yeah,
James
yeah,
Hampton.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was the only other one.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was a fun time too.
Yeah.
Jason and I got along great. Uh, Chubby was already an established character, so he just kind of went on being kind of a cooler version of Chubby,
Right.
and so it was just a really fun time, and and a lot of partying that went on. You know,
Yeah.
so it was just ridiculous.
You have between, I know you are, but what am I? And then talk about Naked Gun, which you're in for 10 seconds, and I'm sure wherever you go, hey, it's Enrico Palazzo. So between that and like A League of Their Own, where, you play adult Stillwell, you're gonna lose. You have a lot of one-liners. And which one do you hear the most when people approach you, wherever you are?
Oh, this was a question in the not too distant past at the Warner Brothers screening, the 40th anniversary. They had about 500 people in this theater, and we're on stage, Michael Barhall and myself, and that was one of the questions that came from an audience member, and I thought, well, that's easy. That's very
Yeah.
easy. And I said the first half of the line into the microphone, I said, "I know you are," and then I pointed the mic at the audience, and 500 voices went, "But what am I?" And I thought, well, that was a pretty cool moment.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely that. Yeah. But did you expect like just, the one line you had a Naked Gun just to be immortalized after all
Oh,
these years too?
no, it's now if I put it in context with the overall scene and how brilliantly it was shot and edited, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But for the longest time, it was like, what the heck? What's going on here? What I don't think I saw the movie at the screening for the cast and crew for some reason. Maybe they didn't invite me because I was pretty
Yeah.
much a glorified extra, and whatever the reason was. But I was walking down. It was either um, Hollywood or Sunset. This guy pulls over the curb and rolls his window down and points at me and said, "Look, it's Enrico Palazzo." And I said, yeah, hey, how you doing? I just kept walking. I went,
Yeah.
wow, that's trippy. I guess the movie's out to the general public,
Right.
and it yeah, it just took on a life of its own. I love the fact that that I was able to get that much mileage out of a half a day's work. You
Yeah.
know,
Right. Yeah. And I imagine like just shooting that scene, you didn't really, mingle with any of the cast members that one day, right?
well, there weren't any.
Right.
There weren't any.
Yeah.
Until they put the cameras up where I was, and then you saw,
Yeah.
the people that. But no, I met Priscilla uh, years later at Chiller uh, convention,
In Jersey, right?
but and I worked with I can't remember the name of it. It was it was like one of those things that went for 6 episodes and then they killed it.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't, got to hang out with him on that set, and just he's one of those guys that if you could pick a neighbor, he would be
Yeah.
right at the top of my list. Um, but no, I never met OJ.
Okay.
Um, I There were a lot of actors that I would love to have met, but same thing with A League of Their Own.
Right.
People say, well, what was Madonna like? Well, I never met her. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. Well, how about Tom Hanks? I never met Tom Hanks. Well, but you met Gina Davis. I said, well, here we go.
Yeah.
And I've told this story a million times, and you probably know the answer. Um, it was not Gina Davis. It was
Right.
an actress.
Yeah.
And her voice was so close to Gina Davis, it was spooky. Um, so, I don't know if Gina Davis could have done
Yeah.
as good a job. I'm sure she could have. But, anyway, that was just a nice little moment working on that film. I was going through a box that just, I don't know what was in it, just
Yeah.
different old scripts and stuff like that. There was a little Polaroid in the bottom of it. And it was a picture of me. It was like a picture that would have been taken of like somebody, wardrobe or makeup or
Right.
something like that. They all had these little Polaroids that spit out Instamatics, and there's the director of the film reaching up and choking me, Penny Marshall, and I'm going,
Yeah.
making the stupid face. And I went, my God, I didn't even remember that photo existed. So it was like, oh my God, I'm going to treasure this forever.
Yeah. That's great.
You know, so keep everything. That's my
Yeah.
that's
Ab-
that's that's my advice. Just
yeah.
keep it all
Yeah.
and go through it every 10 years. You
Right.
don't wait 30 or 40.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One more thing about Pee-wee's Big Adventure, which the whole point of the movie was him trying to find his stolen bike. Did you ever ride the bike, like, between, like, filming and stuff?
No, I didn't, and I probably should have. Of course, I didn't know how many there were until after we'd already wrapped the film, and Paul opened his garage door, and there's one of the bikes sitting there, and I went, "Oh, that's the bike." He goes,
Yeah.
"Well, it's one of the bikes." And then the one they have in the Hollywood Museum is another bike. I don't know who has the one. Somebody at an auction paid like $125,000 for a bike, and now Warner Brothers was out of bikes. They didn't have a bike for the 40th anniversary, so they had to
Right.
go out, and I hope they had to pay through the nose. I don't know. I'm sure
Yeah.
they did.
Right.
And then the Alamo, they have bought a bike.
Okay.
So I and with oh, what do you call it? 3D printing. These bikes are getting
Yeah.
easier to make. So
Right.
I hope they make just tons of them, and they get cheap enough to where I have to buy one. You know.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And you can bring them to the conventions and you can, sign them for people and whatnot.
Yeah, either that or the saddles, saddlebag parts or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah, um, it's always better when I have one of those at a convention
Right.
because a lot of people will walk by and they don't really care about me, but they'll look at the bike and go, "God, I got to get a picture with that bike." And so I'm just secondary. It's like, well, it's his table, so
Yeah.
we'll have him come into the picture,
Right.
and that's fine.
Yeah.
Uh, but I've had people say, "Man, you should get one of these bikes." I'm going, well, what am I going to do? Tow it around on a trailer? You can't put it on a trailer.
Yeah.
The things are have a bugs hitting and stuff like that. I'd have to buy a van and drive everywhere instead of flying everywhere. So I thought, no, this is just uh-uh.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
not going to happen.
No.
Um, so
Yeah.
so there you go. I
Right.
will never have a bike. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
I'm
I might
sorry.
have a little bike though. TCU Toys is working on one.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That won't be easy to bring
Yeah.
around. So, yeah. You ventured into the horror genre, I guess comedically with Leprechaun. And I laugh every time I watch that movie. It cracks me up. Warwick Davis, he was amazing playing the Leprechaun, and a very young Jennifer Aniston pre-Friends, and you were great in it, and Gorman, who played Alex. The chemistry between all of you guys were great. So how much fun was shooting that movie?
Like a little family. Just enjoy going to work every day. And we had some long days and then we go into night shoots. So being with people you have fun with that you generally love. Uh, and Jennifer was just, I never saw her tired. I never saw her whiny. I never saw her anything but, 110%. And I just, we just fed off of each other. I wish there had been, cameras backstage or whatever because she's just a funny girl. She's a lot funnier than she was, believe it or not, as funny as she really was on Prince. So
Right.
I predicted that she would do something like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, she was fantastic in Friends. Did you ever run into her after filming?
A couple of times. Uh, it was right. I had just gotten married or whatever. For some reason, it was always at the same restaurant, like weeks apart. It was just strange. Like, well, there's Jennifer again.
Right.
And we go over and say hi. So I guess we had the same taste in restaurants, whatever the name of that restaurant was, years and years ago. She's an old woman now. She's an old woman. She's too rich and powerful to even think about those things.
Yeah, right. I'm sure she wants to put that behind her, unfortunately. But yeah, they made a ton of sequels. He was in space. I think he was with dinosaurs or wherever, the Hood. I don't know. But then they kind of skipped all those, and then they made, I guess, a direct sequel to it, which you were in, bringing back
Yeah.
Ozzy. And I didn't finish the movie because after they killed you off, I stopped watching it.
Oh,
I loved your death scene. It was a very alien-esque death scene. I mean, it came out what 8 years ago, so I'm not spoiling anything. But yeah, you were so great, and I felt bad that you died, but it was a pretty cool death scene.
that was crazy shoot. It came out of nowhere. I shot it in South Africa,
Oh
so
wow.
that was a big. That was yeah. It's like well, we're going to do it in South Africa. Have you ever been there? No, I've never been to Africa, and we're shooting it in South Africa because the production company was in Toronto.
Okay.
But they had been saying, well, we want to shoot it in like it's one of the winter months, and I'm going, uh-uh, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of snow in the background if we're going to try to recreate the same house and everything. But I didn't know that the owner of Blue Ice, I believe is the name of the company, also owned a company called Out of Africa. Original name.
Right, of course, yeah.
So he would shoot half a year in one location. He'd come to Toronto and shoot half a year there, depending on the seasonal changes. But I think there's going to be another Leprechaun. I'm going to predict it right here now. There's going to be another Leprechaun, and I'm going to predict that. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
going to say that there will be another Leprechaun movie, and the news will come out when you least expect it.
Okay. Breaking news right there. Okay. Yeah. So I should go back and watch the rest of the movie then?
Well, I'm a ghost, so if you want to see me in special effects makeup, holding my own intros, it definitely is. You should.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll go back and watch it then. Yeah.
The script went from Aussie to Ghost Aussie.
Okay.
Yeah, you might get a couple of hoots and hollers out of that one.
So, Mark, before we go, where can people find your action figure?
Well, TCU Toys, beginning in the early part of November. Check back with them, and they're also going to have a bike at some point that's still in development. So if you want one, TCU Toys, they're on Instagram. I know that I'm on Instagram, so I will be posting any updates on the release to the general public on official Mark Holton.
Awesome. Mark, thank you so much for your time today. Best of luck with everything, and let's talk soon.
Oh man, I had a great time. I apologize for any technical issues on my end.
And a special thanks to Mark for joining me today. I have to have him on again. There's so much more we need to discuss, all of his TV work. And if you're interested in the Mark Holton figure, go to tcutoys.bigcartel.com. It's still coming soon, so just be on the lookout for that. And if you have a guest suggestion, you can hit me up on X, formerly Twitter, @thepersonal19, or like the page with my youth on Facebook. You can go to iTunes, check out all the past episodes we've had. While you're there, please rate and review the show. I would really appreciate it. If you don't have iTunes, not a problem. Shows on SoundCloud, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music. Basically, wherever you can find a podcast. New episode will come out soon. Stay safe, everybody. We'll see you there.